Welcome to Retro Crisis. In this video, I'll show you how to get a special version of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time up and running on your PC. This project was developed by the ship of Harkinian and allows you to run Ocarina of Time without any of the technical limitations of the original N64 hardware. You'll be able to play Zelda in widescreen mode and at much higher frame rates, as well as many other modifications. In order to begin the process, you need to go to the Ship of Harkinian's Discord page, which I've linked in the description below. Once you're on the Discord page, you need to go to the Downloads channel and then navigate to the latest version of the Ship of Harkinian. Currently it's 7.0.1, and then all you need to do is download the relevant version. I'm going to download the Windows version. You'll see this pop-up, which warns of a potentially dangerous download, but I think you're safe to continue. Once the zip file has downloaded, you need to extract it into its own folder, and you'll end up with some files that look like this. In addition to the Ship of Harkinian's package, you need to supply a debug ROM of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I can't tell you how to source this file, so you'll have to use your own intuition. But just make sure it's not the Master Quest version. I believe a PAL debug ROM exists within the GameCube collection. Once you've found that, you need to copy and paste it into this folder. And now all you need to do is run the soh.exe file. You'll see this message which says no OTR files found, generate one now, and you want to click yes. And then providing you got the correct ROM, you'll see this pop up, and then click yes. And then Ship of Harkinian will begin processing the ROM. Once that's completed, you'll see this option asking if you'd like to extract another ROM. In this case, I'm going to go to no. Before we continue to the game, just make sure you've got a control pad connected to your computer. And then once that's done, you can launch Ocarina of Time by clicking the soh.exe file. And that's it, that's The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time up and running on your PC. As you can tell, the original game was in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but the version we're currently running is in 16:9. And I believe the game will actually scale to other kinds of monitor aspect ratios as well. So if you've got an ultra wide or a super ultra wide, I think the game may scale. But we've not finished there. What we want to do now is go to the Enhancements menu. So press F1 on your keyboard and you'll see a menu bar will appear at the top corner. So firstly, go to Settings, and the first thing you probably want to do is set up your controller. So go to Controller, Controller Configuration, and then from this drop down, select whichever control pad you've got connected to your computer, and then click on each one of these buttons and map the appropriate button that you want to map. And then you can close this once you're done. And next we can now go to the graphics menu. So go to Settings, go to Graphics, and here with internal resolution, you probably want to change that to 100 if it isn't already. So currently I've got the game matched to 4K. And then if you want, you can increase the anti-aliasing with this MSAA menu. So you can change that to whatever your computer can handle. I'm probably going to push it all the way to 8. And next we can modify the frames per second. So The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time originally ran at approximately 20 frames a second, maybe even less in some cases. Now with these frames, I recommend you either bump it up to say 60 frames per second or 120. But I probably would be hesitant of changing the frame rate to anything in between. But what I will do is just click on the Match Refresh Rate button, and that will just match the refresh rate to my monitor. And now it's running at 60 frames per second. So if we look back at Link, you'll notice his movement is a lot smoother. And the things floating around him also run at a much smoother frame rate, which wasn't possible on the N64. And I'm also going to enable VSync. So those are some of the things you can upgrade in the game, but there are so many more things you can do. So if you go to the Enhancements menu, you can toggle between a few different presets. Personally, I like to change the default to the Enhanced option, and then I go to Apply Presets. And this gives The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time a whole host of quality of life improvements. But if you'd like to check them each on a more granular level, you can simply go through each one of these options and have a little play around, see what you like the look of. But if you're feeling super nostalgic, go to Graphics and go to N64 mode. You'll get the original looking game. But if you're feeling a little spicy, you can go to Cheat and there are so many things you can do here to make your experience a little easier. Anyway, I hope you have fun exploring the options, and if you find any cool or interesting options, drop them in the comments section. I'd love to hear about them.